Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I am back. Just want to talk about something that happened, an incident that happened a few days ago. I did a video on Charlie Kirk. While I would never celebrate Charlie Kirk Day, that video was taken down. I was censored by this platform that I normally am on, and I resent that. So I want to talk about what happened and what I've done about it. And see what happens as a result. So I won't be long because I have a doctor's appointment at 3:30 today. So I won't be too long, but if time permits tonight, I will be talking about another subject. And if I don't do that tonight, I'll push it off till tomorrow. So I will state that and make that clear too as well. But before we get started, let's go ahead and do the shout outs. And everyone on the chat line, please, please, please don't be shy. Don't be shy at all. Just go ahead and greet yourselves, because we have Warren here who says, Willie, motherfucking Bragg, son. Hey, Warren, how are you doing? And he also said, Russian post-punk. Nice. Yeah, I think so. I think so. They are, in spite of what goes on in that part of the world today, musically, I do think that they're the leading edge for what goes on musically today. I listen to a lot of it. So anyway, oh, Warren says, I'm here wearing pants. Well, that makes one of us. I will be wearing pants once I'm wearing boxers. So I don't want anybody to think I'm like nude or whatever. Although I could tell people that when I live stream, I'm actually nude underneath these clothes. How's that for kinky, folks? So anyway, a little bit of levity on top of what happened the other day. So basically, I did a video on Charlie Kirk's day and versus, how I'm going to celebrate it by acknowledging George Floyd. Because the thing about it is they share the same birthday. And just the thing is that all these folks, that complain, and I sound like a broken record, complaining about the cancel culture and all that crap, and in some cases rightfully so, and I will acknowledge some cases rightfully so. They don't put into consideration that not everybody that was on the left disapprove of the cancel culture. Now, I know there are people on the conservative side that do take exceptions on cracking down on free speech, even against the left. So I'm acknowledging that. But there are people out there that are like, well, we'll go after everybody on the left, and it just, you shouldn't go after everybody on the left. And people on the left, they shouldn't go after everybody on the right. I want to make that clear. But for people to go around pretending that Donald Trump is a free speech warrior, in one sense, he's correct. He is. He's a free speech warrior for conservative voices, but not for left-wing voices. He wants to go and put people in prison, a year for flag burning? He wants to go and, take away, people's visas and that criticize the U.S. government, or say mean things about about Donald Trump. This sort of thing. And we got a prime minister in another country that wants to go and fuck with social media even more than it's been fucked with in the United States. And so YouTube told me that I was violating the guidelines of cyberbullying and harassment, that sort of thing, utterance, violence, what have you. I mean, and they showed me where it happened. I was reading a CNN article about the incident that happened to Charlie Kirk. I referred to the U.S. Attorney General and gave her a name that does not invoke what they claim it invoked. Yeah, that it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. It was meant to be insulting. Absolutely meant to be insulting. And I want to make it clear to the dear leader of this country. I will insult, and I will insult, and I will make fun, and I will not be silenced. Take away my platform if you want. I mean, I will, you'll have to go and put me in jail or something. But there's this thing called the First Amendment. And I'm right. And those who take my rights away from me, they're the ones that are the wrong. So, yeah, was the video, was I nasty in my tone? Of course. I was a jerk. I was an asshole. I make no apologies for it. Every fucking word I meant. I didn't mean any violence. I didn't mean any harassment or any bullying. I didn't mean. Did I mean to hurt feelings? Damn Skippy, I meant to hurt feelings. Thing is that my voice got taken away from me, and I'm not saying Willie Bragg's voice like I'm fucking special. I'm saying my voice. And my voice could be anybody's voice. That's basically what I'm saying. I'm not saying because I'm the person that people need to cater around per se. No more, no less than anybody else. Because I have called out on censorship of others that's been imposed against others. And I don't like it whenever censorship and cancel culture rear its ugly head. I take exception to it. And I know some people will be like, oh God, here he goes talking about free speech again. And for the past, what I don't get was when Trump got elected the first time, granted that he was not the obnoxious asshole that he is today. Oh, I better, if I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get in trouble. But anyway, he was not the obnoxious person he is currently. But there was a lot of censorship that was going on. And you still had people on the liberal left that were, talking about why they were for censorship and cancel culture. I'm hoping that some of these people from the liberal left have learned their lessons. And this is one of the reasons I can't support AOC for president in 2028. Because she's far more committed to censorship than she is Medicare for all. I mean, I don't care for Tucker Carlson. I mean, Tucker Carlson's been not wrong on a few issues lately, but I'm not going to go around embracing him because he's not been consistently wrong as he's been over the years. I mean, he's not the worst of the right either. I mean, there are people that makes Tucker Carlson look like look like Michael Figueredo or Hassan Piker or what have you. But what I'm getting at though is that I don't like it whenever it rears its ugly head. That's basically what I want to say. And I got a warning from YouTube. I did do the appeal, And I know what's going to happen. They're going to disregard it, and like they did the last time. 3 years ago, I had my channel shut down for a week. You want to know why I had I had my channel shut down several times, and since 2020 for different reasons. Now, I thought it was bullshit when I got my channel shut down 2 years ago for a copyright strike, but I'm far more understanding about the copyright strike than I am this time round that I had my video taken away, and the other time, actually, I had a couple of videos taken away over the years, but I've had my channel shut down for a week over spreading conspiracy theories that I never did spread. In 2020, 2021, 2022, that time period, I guess on into 2023, that that they were penalizing people who were engaging in election denialism. I don't like Joe Biden, but I thought that Joe Biden won the election in 2020. I never disputed that. Of course, he won the election in 2020. I mean, anything, I mean, really anything. When I say anything, that includes Joe Biden, dementia-ridden vegetable brain Joe Biden. COVID happened. Trump was edgy to a lot of people in 2016, and they were like, I want to go back to normal. And normal to most Americans meant Barack Obama, George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush Sr. That's what normal meant. And Joe Biden was right in there. And they were like, fuck this, outside the system situation with Trump. He's not handling COVID right. And mind you, no president would have handled COVID correctly. There was that. He did give us a check. I'll give him that. I will give him that. But as far as the overall handling, yeah, I mean, no, there was no conspiracy theory. China did not sit there, unleash this knowingly onto the population. Because if that was the case, why did the Chinese people get fucked with? And why did this pandemic went around the entire world? There are some things about China I complain about. I don't like the social credit system and certain things. It's not exactly my kind of socialism per se. For those who are into China, I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying it's not my, I'm more of the Nordic type, Sweden, Norway. I'm more like Sweden, Norway with an attitude. Like what my friend from the Socialist Party, Vernon Kelly, used to say, social democracy without the capitalism. Old school, class warrior base, hardcore, when social democracy meant militant left. Thing about it is, China did not spread that virus. They handled it badly. The president handled it badly. People around the world handled it badly. But the United States in particular handled it badly. But people get penalized for spreading COVID conspiracies. And, and so, I mean, I had to keep my mouth shut because anything I would have said about the COVID, about the vaccine would have been considered conspiracy theory or considered, everybody hated my position on how to handle COVID. Do I think that the mask worked? I'll put it this way. While I did not favor a mask mandate in maybe 90% of the situation, Like you're in the hospital, you're a hospital worker. Yeah, you got to put on a mask. Okay. Certain situations you have to put on a mask. Day to day life, like you go into a Walmart or go into whatever place, a Starbucks or what have you. That's up to you. What needed to happen with COVID is we needed to have universal basic income for all people. If you were going to go and close everything down, and if you were going to do that, you needed to go and create a Medicare for all system really, really quickly instead of giving $4.5 trillion to fucking leeches of corporations that didn't need it. Well, okay, the pandemic, the jab. Again, do I think that the jab works? Did I think the vaccines work? Did I think that the what do you call it, the booster shot work? I'm going to put it this way: my parents are alive today because of it. Now, having all that said, and I got my vaccine shot and I got my booster, but I will say this about it: it should also be voluntary. Those Canadian truckers, there was a way to resolve that. Trudeau could have resolved it easily. And Canada's more generous about giving away things to people than the United States. It could have been done easily. You could have said, Trudeau government could have said, truckers, we give you a choice. We give you $1,000 if you take the vaccine. I bet you that some of the anti-vaxxers would turn into pro-vaxxers overnight. But I'm not trying to get all into it, except that I try to be a consistent civil libertarian on these matters whenever things like this come up. But you shouldn't get penalized for having an unorthodox view of COVID, and you shouldn't get penalized for having views about an election. Getting back to 2022, when Liz Cheney was in trouble in Wyoming in the Republican primaries, and her dad, Little Dick Cheney, came up to Wyoming to campaign for his daughter. I said something about uncomplimentary about Little Dick Cheney. And in doing so, I talked about the election results in Florida in 2000 when he was the vice presidential candidate, George W. Bush. The fraud that took place in Florida. The algorithms interpret that as me talking about the 2020 election as if I was for Donald Trump, and I was saying that his presidency was stolen from him. I never said that. So I got shut down for a week. Got fucking shut down for a week. My point is, whether it's the presidential election results or whether it's COVID, or whether you have an uncomplimentary or unfavorable view of the president or their dumb attorney general, you should not be canceled, cultured, and punished for exercising your First Amendment right. That's my point. And that's what happened to me. I know what's going to happen. They're going to go and hand me. They'll either totally ignore it, or they'll go and they'll just if they answer me back like they did the last time, they'll basically say, yeah, in a nice way, fuck off. We're just disregarding you. Because I'm a small podcaster. Now, I know that there are other channels that have actually used worse language, worse rhetoric than I've ever could use, and they're still standing. Nobody's fucking with them. It's easy to go after small channels. When I started this thing, I said it the other day. The video got shut down. I started this thing in 2020 working for Bernie, unofficially, Bernie doesn't know who I am. But, I was doing this, and it was kind of like I wanted to go and I wanted to be the next Kyle Kulinski. I wanted to be the next Sam Cedar. I wanted to be the next Jimmy Dore. Back then, even back then, I know, we're talking about 2020. Even back then, I wanted to be the next David Pakman. I wanted to be the next Tom Hartman. I wanted to be the next Amazing Atheist. I wanted to be the next, even back then, I wanted to be the next Shank Uger. I wanted to be these people back then. I was so silly back then. I want to be myself now. And I'm satisfied with the size of the channel. Yeah, do I want more subscribers? Please let me have more subscribers. Sure. But I tell you, I like the community I have. I like the people that I communicate and associate with. And I've been doing this for almost 6 years now. And I came to the conclusion that I'm not going to be the next Sam Cedar, and I'm not going to be the next Kyle Kalinske. I'm not going to be the next Jimmy Dore. I'm not going to be the next, Shank Uger, or the next, whoever, large name in the online left from the old school days. I'm talking about, I'm not going to be that guy. I never will be, and I'm okay with that. I'm not resentful or anything. This what I do here is a labor of love. This is a labor of love, what I do. I'm an obnoxious, loudmouth leftist crank. And I'm glad there are people that appreciate me ranting away. Like the nut that I am. But and so I resent what YouTube has done. Leave us small content makers alone. It's bad enough y'all shadow banned us to death. We got some good channels out there that they get shadow banned as hell. Shadow banned as hell. Here on the chat line, we have, we have, Extra Bullet, Warren. He I have more subscribers than he has, and his channel is way better than mine. He's supposed to have 5 to 6 times more subscribers than I could ever have. Where's the justice in that? Same thing with Trailer Park Pundit with Shanda Masta. She's done good work with her channel. I don't watch it super often because I work graveyard shift and I'm usually asleep at that time. I do go and backtrack and watch it occasionally, but whenever I get a chance. But it's hard to keep up with everybody. So, what I like to call friendly competition. But there's a lot of people that do better work than I ever could do, and more entertaining and better quality work, and look what the algorithms do, how they're pushed aside with the shadow banning, and that's not right. People talk about capitalism is the best form of system. Capitalism does not mean meritocracy. We're not a meritocracy. We were a meritocracy. For example, YouTube would go back to the way it used to be 20 years ago, where it was a wild, wild west and everything would flood. Even my lackluster channel would have a couple of thousand. But YouTube don't want that because CNN doesn't want it. Fox News doesn't want it. MSNBC doesn't want it. And all these other major networks do not want it. So I ran it long enough, but I wanted to get that out of my chest. And I have to go to the doctor's office to get access to the drugs that's helped me lose 35 pounds in the last 9 weeks. So that's what I got to do, to talk to my doctor to see if we can keep that going. As I said, I know, y'all see my ugly mug enough that you can't tell. And that's fine. But it feels mighty good to walk around with a stomach that's not as puffy as it used to be. So anyway, I know I just randomly will say things that that I'll just randomly say shit. So, if you like what you heard, please press like and comment any ways you disagree with what I have to say. We'll have conversations you like. And that's the thing right there. I want to say that on the comment section of that last video, I was actually fighting with some of the people in the comment section. I think I got reported too, by the way. And for those right-wing people, fuck off. So, anyway, getting back to what I was saying. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. Comment in ways you disagree with me. And you can disagree with me. Right-wingers, you can disagree with me. We can have a discussion over disagreement on policy. Just don't be a dick about it. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we're, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Subscribe to the Willie Bragg Show on all my appropriate platforms. And, of course, free, and pardon you, Ed Snowden, free Palestine, free healthcare for all. And, of course, keep the concept of free speech alive. Preserve the First Amendment, folks. Until next time, I will say it. Fuck Pam Bondi. Fuck Pam Bimbo. If I get shut down, it's been nice knowing y'all. Y'all take care. We'll talk soon, hopefully enough. Bye-bye.